Hey everyone, big news starting Tuesday, February 4th. Let's Talk K12 Education is moving to a new slot from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. That's right. Every week, every Tuesday from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m., we'll continue to make K12 education everyone's community business. Don't miss a beat. See you at the new time. Hello out there. Yes. Riding solo today. Thank you for joining us on 107.5 FM and 1570 AM WECU every Tuesday. Well, guys, Happy New Year. Are you ready to learn, engage, and be inspired? Well, welcome to the Let's Talk K12 Education Show. I'm your host for the next 50 minutes, Tonitia Langley, education enthusiast, thought leader, and founder, an education consultant and coach. I'm excited to partner with you and be dedicated to the heart of our community, which is education. As a former educator and classroom teacher from a traditional public school setting and a current education consultant and coach, my goal is to use this platform as an unbiased show to educate and provide information as it pertains to educating our future. That's the goal of the Let's Talk K12 Education Show, to let others know that in the challenging and educational landscape, there is a light that pierces the darkness, and there are educators working in the trenches, stakeholders, and educational thought leaders like myself, closing the gap to the school to prison pipeline with tenacity, grit, and grind while providing hope. I'm the host, but you and the community mean the most. I would love for you to share your suggestions of what you would love to get more information as it pertains to K-12 education. So if you are interested and want to be engaged on the show and put your 2 cents in, as people say, email us at let's talk K12education at gmail.com. So last week's New Year's Eve show, we explored a vision for equity, closing achievement gaps in 2025 with Dr. Glenn E. Johnson. And we provided tons of information regarding the topic. If you would like a recap of those tools, resources, or any of the other Let's Talk K12 education show, search hashtag Let's Talk K12 and catch us on the replay and comment hashtag replay by heading over to Facebook. Awesome Radio, 107.5 FM and 1570 AM with the purple and green logo. You can also catch us on YouTube, www.youtube.com at Awesome Radio WECU, again with the purple and green logo. Being a wife and a mother and a former middle school teacher and grandmother to 8 adorable grandbabies, I am currently an education consultant and coach. I recognize the importance of the ability to have critical thinking skills. And you've heard me say it over and over and over and over on the show. It's one of those skills that even if you are a veteran, seasoned educator and you've taught multiple learners, I will tell you it is by far one of the hardest skills to teach in education. Okay. So I want to do my little part here on the show and do just little mini segments under the How is Your Brain Game segment. We're still going to do this in the new year. So let's get warmed up and ready for the show today with How is Your Brain Game to drive your K-12 educational mindset shifts out of park and into drive. Let's engage your critical thinking skills for school, homework, and school tasks as it pertains to all of those adorable K-12 people that's inside of your home, okay? So I'm going to start. I want you to riddle me this. I am something that adapts, evolves, and grows with each passing year. I can blend the old with the new, making learning exciting and engaging. What am I? The answer is innovative education trends, which is a huge hint towards what our show is going to be about today. So if you have brain teasers for How is Your Brain Game segment and you would like to have them shared on the show, again, email us at Let's Talk K12 Education at gmail.com. Again, at Let's Talk K-12 Education at gmail.com if you have some brain teasers or riddles that you would like to have as we open up our show again for this new school year. Excuse me, for this new year. So, opening the first show of 2025, going to take a moment on the Let's Talk K-12 Education show to express gratitude for a new year and new educational perspectives. As we embark on this exciting new year, 2025, I'm particularly excited to be hosting this episode today solo. It provides a unique opportunity for us to delve deeper into some of the most pressing and thought provoking issues facing education today. I want to welcome everyone to the very first episode of the Let's Talk K-12 Education Show for 2025. It's a brand new year, and I couldn't be more excited to continue this journey with all of you as we dive into meaningful and transformative conversations about education. First, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to everyone who supported the show in 2024. Whether you joined us as a guest, a loyal viewer, or simply spread the word about what we're doing here, your presence and encouragement have been a driving force behind our success. A special thank you to those who've taken the time to share kind words with me when we cross paths in person. Hearing how much you enjoy the show and how it's making a difference truly warms my heart and fuels my passion to continue these meaningful discussions. To our returning audience, thank you for coming back for another year of inspiration and learning. And to our new viewers in 2025, welcome. We're thrilled to have you join this growing community dedicated to shaping the future of education together. Today, I want to take a moment to give flowers, yes, flowers, to the incredible community that makes this show possible. To our loyal listening and viewing audience, thank you for showing up week after week to engage, learn, and grow with us. Your energy and support makes this all worthwhile. To our 2024 show guest, your expertise and voices have left an and inedible mark on the lives of so many. Thank you for sharing your insights and inspiring change in education. And to the general manager of Awesome Radio, your leadership, vision, and unwavering support have been instrumental in making this platform a beacon of hope and information. So, thank you. Let's step into 2025 together, continuing to uplift one another, build stronger communities, and champion success in education. This year is going to be phenomenal, and it's all because of you. So, thank you. Here's to a year of innovation, collaboration, and shared successes. Let's dive into 2025 with gratitude, purpose, where we make education everyone's business. As we welcome the new year, we have some new news. I talked about it last week on the New Year's Eve show with Dr. Glennie Johnson, but we're excited to announce a new time slot for the Let's Talk K-12 Education show starting this month, January 2025. This change is designed to better connect with our incredible K-12 educators and listeners, making it easier than ever to tune in and engage with the conversations that matter most. Stay tuned for details and announcements in January and get ready to join us in this exciting new chapter. I'm excited. Why is this important? Empowering educators, K-12 educators are at the forefront of shaping young minds. By reaching them during the convenient time, we can provide the tools, strategies, and inspirations they need to excel. Number two, enhancing professional growth. The new time slot aligns with educators' schedules, allowing them to engage in meaningful discussions during their afternoon break or planning period or on their ride home in the evenings, especially for the K-5 educators. Building a community. Strengthening our connection with this demographic fosters collaboration, innovation, and shared solutions to educational challenges. So, I want you to stay tuned for those announcements and reminders coming up of the new time change and what time that time slot will be. You'll be hearing about it in the next coming weeks. And so, make those adjustments if you're following the show. And I hope that you're following from 2024 on into 2025 and beyond for the new time slot for the Let's Talk K12 Education show. So, to explore, we're going to get into the objectives of today's show is to explore the top 20 transformative trends shaping education in 2025, providing educators, parents, and stakeholders with actionable insights, strategies, and resources to adapt, innovate, and inspire success in classrooms, schools, and beyond. So, here are some thought provoking questions I want you to press pause and reflect regarding our topic today, which is education evolution 20 trends shaping K 12 success in 2025. I'm going to do my very best to cover as many of these trends as I possibly can. So let me go ahead and get right to it. So, how can we ensure that the use of AI in education benefits all students, regardless of their socioeconomic background or access to technology? What role do you see parents playing in preparing students for the future of work given the rapid pace of technological change? So by the time we figure something out, learn how to utilize it, learn how a new skill set is changed. How can we best balance the need for standardization in education with the need for personalized learning experience for each student? What are the ethical considerations surrounding the use of data and technology in education? And how can we ensure student privacy and data security? These are all some things, thought provokers, as we move into this new year, a new administration. So, lots to think about. And I'll leave you with one more thought provoker before we get into some of the trends before our break. How can we best prepare educators for the challenges and opportunities of the 21st century? So, thought provokers, press pause. The education system, I don't care whether you're in it and a classroom teacher or administrator or instructional support, classified staff that helps to run the school, drive the bus. If you are a family or a family member, new changes, new initiatives, new administration, some of these trends that I'm going to share today, we are all impacted. So get your paper and pencil, or again, go back and rewind the show and stay tuned. So without further ado, let's get into the topic today. Education evolution, 20 trends shaping K-12 success in 2025. And again, I'm going to do my very best to get through all 20. So if I don't get through all 20, don't count me out, okay? I may add them into another show. So I'm thrilled to be with you today as we kick off 2025. This year promises to be an exciting one for education, and I can't wait to share some of the most impactful trends shaping our classrooms. So let's dive in. Number one, personalized learning through AI. Personalized learning through AI refers to the use of artificial intelligence technologies to tailor educational experiences to the unique needs, pace, and learning styles of individual students. So, some tools, and I think that I can probably go through a little bit fast. I'm just going to share some tools. Dreambox, iReady, Khan Academy. Some books are The AI Classroom by Daniel Fitzpatrick. Strategies, I'm going to keep going. Use adaptive learning platforms, implement AI chatbots for student support. And a tip to give is start small with one AI tool in one subject area. Now, I would love to push a whole lot further on that one, because I know that when you hear of AI, it makes you nervous. It makes you a little jittery because you don't know about it and all of our perceived notions about what it may or may not mean. But actually, AI technology has been around for a little bit longer. It's just that we're getting exposed to it. But anyway, let me keep going. Number two, gamification of education is the application of game design principles, mechanics to learning environments. So think of it this way. It's about making learning more like a game by incorporating elements that are typically found in games, such as some of these apps: Kahoot, Classcraft, Minecraft, and that's the education edition. Some of the websites are Edutopia, and look for gamification articles. Some of the strategies: you can incorporate leaderboards and badges, use game based storytelling to explain concepts. So here's a tip: ensure gamified elements align with learning objectives. Okay. Number three of one of the trends that we're going to talk about today: socio-emotional learning, SEL, is the process through which children and adults acquire and effectively apply the knowledge, skills, and attitudes. So some tools are Second Step, which I have actually implemented that when I was doing some consulting before. CASEL, and it's a CASEL framework. Books: The Whole Brain Child by Daniel Siegel. I've heard The Whole Brain Child when I was teaching, but I didn't utilize it at the time. Strategies: daily check-ins with students. You can create SEL focused group activities. Tips is to model SEL skills as an educator, and for you guys at home as well. Number four, hybrid learning models refer to any educational approach that combines face-to-face instruction with online learning elements. So some platforms are Google Classroom, Zoom, and Nearpod, which are all three of my favorite platforms. Some of the guides is Blended Learning in Action by Caitlin Tucker. Some strategies: blend synchronous and asynchronous. So that means synchronous means face-to-face. Asynchronous means when a learner is by themselves during the learning. Um, Use flipped classroom methods. Some tips: maintain clear communication with parents and students. I'm doing pretty good. Number five, micro credentials and skill based learning. Micro credentials are short term focused credentials that recognize the attainment of specific skills or knowledge. They typically involve a shorter period of study than traditional degrees or certifications. They often focus on in-demand skills for the modern workforce. Don't get me started with that one, such as digital literacy, data analysis, cybersecurity, and specific software applications. What are some of the platforms? Coursera, I've heard of that one. edX, and Google certificates. I've heard of that. I need to get me a few of those. What are the strategies? Some of the organizations are Credential Engine and Skill USA. What are the strategies? Is to partner with local businesses for skills programs, which include micro credential options in electives. The tips: highlight real world applications of skills learned. So, your girl has got to get some CEUs in, for to maintain my professional teaching license by next year. So I may look into those myself to see if they're on the list of some courses that I can take to look over that would meet my needs, as it pertains to my teaching license. So this is some good stuff. So again, if you didn't have your paper, pencil, or screen record on, come on up over to Facebook to see the show again so you can get some of these resources, or go on over to YouTube and I will say those when we come back off of the break if you didn't get a chance to get some of those trends, because I'm going to start back, with some more trends when we come back off of the break. So we've covered a lot of ground already, and there's so much more to discuss. Let's take a short break to recharge. And on the other side of the break, I will continue to go over more of these trends for the 2025 year. And what makes me so excited is in my consultancy, I hear a lot of people in management, mid-management mention that some of these trends that we're looking at are also applicable to adult learners as well. So this makes me excited that it is basically covering K12, but it is also addressing some of those gaps that I've been hearing from some of the people that I'm affiliated with that's in mid-level management. So this is great. Well, anyway, So may the new year bring joy, growth, and success to all K-12 students, their families, and educators. You're listening to the Let's Talk K-12 Education on Awesome Radio, WECU 107.5 FM and 1570 AM, where we make K-12 education everyone's business. We'll be right back after this short message with more inspiration for the world of K-12 education. Hey everyone, big news starting Tuesday, February 4th. Let's Talk K-12 Education is moving to a new slot from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. That's right. Every week, every Tuesday from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m., we'll continue to make K-12 education everyone's community business. Don't miss a beat. See you at the new time. Welcome back to Awesome Radio, WECU 107.5 FM and 1570 AM. You can find us here talking about all things education every Tuesday on Let's Talk K-12 Education. You can find us here on Facebook at Awesome Radio 107.5 FM and 1570 AM with the purple and green logo. You may also head on over to YouTube and find us there at www.youtube.com at Awesome Radio WECU with the purple and green logo. You can also hashtag Let's Talk K12 to see if you can find us there a little bit quicker. If you want to share your topic show ideas, some of your suggestions, some things you want me to do some research on for this new year in 2025, by all means, email us at let's talk K12 education at gmail.com. Okay. Look to hear from you. So before we continue with our topic today on these education trends, I want to go over this relevant case study. And it's from, according to AI University, I always like to say that, according to AI University, is implementing an AI-powered personalized learning in a diverse school district. So here's the background. So the background of this, and I may share the rest of this case study after the break, but the background is this Greenfield School District, serving a population of 15,000 students from diverse socioeconomic and cultural backgrounds, faced persistent achievement gaps. Despite dedicated educators and investments in technology, many students, particularly those from underserved communities, struggled to meet academic benchmarks. All too familiar with that scenario. So in 2023, the district partnered with an edtech company to pilot an AI-powered personalized learning platform in its middle schools. My favorite. The goal was to close achievement gaps, foster student engagement, and empower teachers with data-driven insights. So I will get to the pilot program, the outcomes and results, if I'm doing pretty good with getting through these next couple of trends. So welcome back to Awesome Radio again, and we're just so happy that you're continuing to engage with us in 2025. So let's continue with our topic: education evolution, 20 trends shaping K-12 success in 2025. And we're going to continue with our list at number 6. Equity focused initiatives are programs, policies, or practices designed to address and dismantle systemic inequities that limit opportunities for certain groups of people. What are some of the programs? Title I and the National Equity Project. And again, this is the information right now, but of course, we know new administrations coming in. They have new thought processes around education, the U.S. Department of Ed, but I'll keep you posted with that as more information comes unpacked. So the tools: diversity, equity, inclusion, which is also another word that they have a hard time with, but it's basically just good instructional practice. You can call it whatever you want, but that's the name of it. and doing some audits as it pertains to diversity, equity, and inclusion, or what people term as DEI. Strategies, culturally responsive teaching practices, build equity teams within schools, which is paramount. And some of the tips is to include diverse voices in curriculum development. Number 7, green education and sustainability. Now, I haven't heard of that one before, so I was a little interested in this one. So, green education, also known as environmental education, is an approach to learning that fosters ecological literacy and promotes responsible environmental behavior. It goes beyond simply teaching about environmental issues. It aims to cultivate a deep understanding of the interconnectedness of humans and the environment, and to empower individuals to become active stewards of the planet. So, in other words, it just sounds like some good old fashioned project based learning, which I love myself a good PPL. But anyway, what are the programs? Green Schools National Network. Some of the tools are Eco Schools USA. What are some of the strategies to start a recycling club? My mentor that I had up here, Jennifer Kreiner, in 2024, actually did a fabulous job with our recycling program at the middle school that we taught in. Did a fabulous job. Taught those children that she pulled in as leaders so many soft skills. Implement energy saving policies. Some of the tips are use sustainability projects for cross curricular learning. Woo, don't get me excited talking about cross curricular. That is my favorite. That means cross curricular means taking that one lesson, that one objective, and going from ELA, also implementing some math, some social studies, and some science. Ooh, don't get me going. But anyway, number 8, virtual reality, which is a short term for VR, and augmented reality, which is short term for AR definition. So, virtual reality immerses users in a completely computer generated 3-dimensional environment. AR overlays digital information onto the real world. So I think that's like the metaverse or something like that, which is still a little interesting to me, but those are just my personal beliefs. So, and I try to stay away from those on the show. Some of the tools are Google Expeditions, Merge Cube, Grants is ISTEVRAR, funding opportunities. Okay, I hope you wrote that down. What are the strategies? Use AR for interactive science lessons. Incorporate VR in history lessons for virtual tours. Now, I did used to use virtual tours with those very first goggles that came out back in the day, and my students loved it. Tips: offer teacher training on VR and AR integration. So, if you're interested in that, take a look into your school's platform of workshop and PD opportunities, professional development. I'm trying to stay away from using a lot of acronyms up here on the show too, but us educators, that's what we do. So please forgive me in advance if I use acronyms. Number 9, student-centered assessment is an educational approach that prioritizes the student's role in the assessment process. Ooh, interesting. It shifts the focus from simply measuring student achievement to understanding student learning and using that understanding to inform instruction and improve student outcomes. That sounds like some great PD opportunities for consultants, because that is a whole mouthful. It's actually pretty simple, but it just takes several different layers of skill sets to be able to do that. Resources: Seesaw, Padlet. I love myself some Padlet. Books: Rethinking Grading by Kathy Vatterott. Strategies: use rubrics, love rubrics too, for project-based learning. Incorporate peer reviews, did them all the time, and you believe, honey, they strut around like a whole peacock when they get to use a rubric and analyze and grade one of their peers' work. They eat that stuff up. What are the tips? Provide students with options for how they demonstrate learning. So it's that goes into that whole involve me in the process. You know, you can tell me something all day long, but when you involve me, I got it. Okay. Number 10, I'm so proud of myself. Yay. It snaps to Tonitia in 2025. So number 10, Increased focus on teacher wellness signifies a growing recognition of the importance of prioritizing the mental, emotional, and physical well being of educators. Resources: some of the apps are Headspace and Calm. Some of the workshops are educator wellness programs by Resilient Educator. What are the strategies? Offer mental health days, provide access to professional counseling. And what are the tips? To create peer support groups for educators, because we are tired of them putting in these groups that they're turning in their notice to not just move out of that school, that district, but to move out of education altogether. So, hoping that some of these things can help curb some of that. But anyway, that was a lot to unpack. Let's give our brains a little break. May the new year bring you joy, growth, and success to all K-12 students, their families, and educators. You're listening to the Let's Talk K-12 Education right here on Awesome Radio, WECU 107.5 FM and 1570 AM, where we make K-12 education everyone's business. We'll be right back after this short message with more inspiration for the world of K-12 education. Hey everyone, big news. Starting Tuesday, February 4th, Let's Talk K-12 Education is moving to a new slot from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. That's right. Every week, every Tuesday from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m., we'll continue to make K-12 education everyone's community business. Don't miss a beat. See you at the new time. Welcome back to Awesome Radio, WECU, 107.5 FM and 1570 AM. You can find us here talking about all things education every Tuesday on Let's Talk K-12 Education. You can find us on Facebook, Awesome Radio, 107.5 FM and 1570 AM with the purple and green logo. You can find us also over there on YouTube at www.youtube.com at Awesome Radio WECU with the purple and green logo. Again, you can email us at let's talk K12 education at gmail.com with your topics that you would like to have discussed on the show. And again, we've done several shows at this point, so you should be able to put in hashtag let's talk K12 to be able to put a search out there for us as well. So several ways to stay connected to the show, stay connected to the Awesome Radio platform. And we're just having a ball. I'm having a ball all by myself on this 2025 solo show. So without further ado, I started the show and gave you a case, and I just gave you the background because I wanted to go ahead and work, give you those other trends. And I have about 5 more left. So I'm doing so good. I'm giving myself some ed snaps. Woohoo! So I want to go back to this particular case study again from AI University, which I call, and it is implementing AI powered personalized learning in a diverse school district. And I gave you the background at the show before the break. And I gave you the background, which is the Greenfield School District serving a population of 15,000 students from diverse socioeconomic and cultural backgrounds that face persistent achievement gaps, and how the district partnered with an ed tech company that had AI-powered personalized learning platform in its middle schools. So now I want to tell you a little bit about the pilot program before we continue with our education evolution trends. So the pilot program was technology used an AI-powered platform that assessed students' learning levels and created individualized lesson plans in math and reading. The implementations, teachers receive professional development to integrate the platform into their curriculum. So notice it didn't say annihilate the teachers, which that's a whole other Let's Talk K-12 education show. And I'm going to try to get to that topic sometime this year before the school year ends. Students spent 30 minutes daily on the platform, which adjusted content dynamically based on performance. Parents were given access to progress reports through a mobile app. The school involved 2 middle schools with historically low proficiency rates in math and reading. And the duration of this particular pilot program was from January 2023 to December 2023. And again, this is AI, according to AI University, okay? So, what were the outcomes and results? Improved academic performance. By the end of the school year, 68% of students in the program showed measurable growth in math and 75% in reading. The achievement gaps between high income and low income students, remember I talk about it all the time, closing this achievement gap. It narrowed that huge gap by 20%. Now that's notable. The increased student engagement, gamification features such as earning badges and unlocking levels motivated students to engage with the content. Teachers reported that students were more excited about learning and confident in their abilities. It empowered educators. The platform provided real-time data, my favorite, on student progress, allowing teachers to identify struggling students and adjust their teaching strategies. This is all just good old-fashioned stuff that we do even without this high-tech stuff, but we'll get to that too. Collaborative meetings between educators focused on sharing best practices and using data effectively. Now, I got to insert, and I know that I'm trying to get to the rest of these last 5 trends for education evolution for 2025, but educators, so let me share this with you. If you have a highly effective instructional strategy that is causing desired student learning outcomes, it would be to your benefit if you shared it with your neighbor, shared it with your team, shared it with another teacher that's struggling. So I know I can hear you. I can hear you say, well, that's not going to do any good. And then their data's going to be looking like mine and this, that, and the third. So here's 2 things. If you share it and they choose not to do it, that's on them. And at the end of the day, if you have a highly effective instructional strategy that drives positive learning gains that we're trying to get in these students, share it, because there's going to be a way that you execute it and implement it in your instructional strategies, and the other teacher may execute it in a different way. But the concept will be the same. Some educators will hold on to things because they are in fear that another teacher is going to utilize some effective instructional strategy that they have. And that's not true. If you look good, the grade level looks good, the school looks good, that's just a win-win for you, your grade level, your team, another struggling teacher, and the district. So that's my rah-ha-ha, my educational coaching consultant 2 cents that I'm going to put in that. And I want you to come back in the 2025 school year with a paradigm shift to be more open to those sharing those best practices. So, all right. Challenges encountered though. So with the community impact was parent involvement increase as they could see their child's progress and support learning at home. So that partnership was formed due to this pilot program. The district's success gained recognition, leading to additional funding, money, for expanding the program. So those are all of the positives and the pros. Let me give you some of the cons. Challenges encountered was the digital equity. Not all students had reliable internet access at home. The district addressed this by providing hotspots and community Wi-Fi zones. I heard about those during the pandemic. Teacher buy-in. Some educators initially resisted the change, requiring additional training and ongoing support to build the trust in the system. As a consultant that does any type of training, whether it's a K12 entity, school, or educational organization, or whether it is with a company or community-based organization, it's not just teachers that don't embrace change. It's a lot of adult learners that have a hard time embracing change. So I know it's difficult on your already 1,799 a list of things that you have to do and learn and execute and implement and be accountable for. But if it's going to get you those gains, that's going to keep the administrators off your back behind low evaluations, I keep them out of their office about some things that are not taking place within your classroom, then it will be to your advantage to embrace doing some new things this 2025 school year. Okay. And there are some ways that you can do it and not be overwhelmed. Um, so, um, so excited here, and we're going to continue with we're going to continue and complete our education evolution 20 trends shaping K-12 success in 2025. And I've shared 1 through 10, and now during this segment I'm going to share 11 through 25, as well as, if we have some time, some other goodies for the families, stakeholders, and our community. So, number 11, early career readiness programs are initiatives designed to equip young people with the essential skills, knowledge, and experiences they need to successfully transition from education to the workforce. Don't get me started on that one. These programs aim to bridge the gap between academic learning and the demands of the modern workplace. I'll insert here before I go on to talk about the resources. Please do not assume because you have a high flying a student who never gets into trouble that they will not struggle once they get past K-12. Okay. I'll leave that one there. We'll talk more about that maybe in a different show. But here's some tools for that, for early career readiness programs. Some tools are Naviance and Career One Stop. A good book is Career Pathways by Rick Brewer. Some strategies are partner with local businesses for internships, host career fairs. That was one of the things that our school used to do, and we used to have a blast, by the way. Some of the tips: introducing career exploration in middle school. Not going to say it's too late by the time they get to high school, but if you're exposing them to those career options, those career pathways, it expands their horizon to start thinking ahead of the time before they get into high school. Number 12, global collaboration in classrooms. Refers to educational initiatives that connect students with their peers in other countries to learn, collaborate, and solve problems together. Platforms, ePals, Global Nomads Group. Some of the programs are Model UN, virtual exchange programs. Some of the strategies: collaborate with international schools on projects, use global issues for classroom discussions. International PBL, project-based learning. Tips: integrate cross-cultural lessons into your curriculum. I talked a little bit about that with a guest, Miss Losha Brooks, when we talked about culturally responsive teaching. That's all that part of that is just for that student to be able to identify themselves in what you're teaching in the curriculum and making it relatable to them. Number 13, data-driven decision making is the process of making informed choices based on the analysis of data rather than intuition or assumptions. Now, educators, your intuitions and assumptions, they are beautiful, they are great, they are grand, and they're going to drive change sometimes. But they're most often than not, you need to pair that with being able to look at real-time data, and not just one piece of data, but several sets of data as it pertains to the learners that you are teaching. Okay. Now, some of the tools are Power Schools and Tableau. Guides is Driven by Data by Paul Bambrick Santoya. Strategies: analyze test scores to identify gaps, create actionable goals based on data insights. Some of the tips: regularly train staff on data analysis tools. Now, I love myself some data or data, whichever way you want to say it. But I'm also getting ready to get into learning some of those tools that can help carve some time. I love combing through data. Trust me, different sets, looking at different trends, adjusting my instructional strategies, my activities, but I also need to work smarter and not harder. So I will also, because like I says, I have a contract position with my old school district in and implementing 3.5 reading remediation as a reading specialist. So I'm going to be looking for some of those tools. If you know of some that you think that I will be able that I would like, email them at let's talk K12 education at gmail.com. Number 14, inclusive education for all abilities means that all students, regardless of their learning differences, disabilities, or other unique needs, are fully included and valued members of the school community. Let me give you some tools and then I'm going to have some input on that one. Some of the tools are Read and Write, and I've utilized that particular reading platform. Dragon, Naturally Speaking, I'm not familiar with that one. Some of the organizations are CAST, CAST, and Understood.org. Haven't heard of either one of those, but I may be looking into them. Strategies, incorporate Universal Design for Learning, which is UDL, and use assistive technologies. Some of the tips is other offer professional development on inclusion strategies. So that is number 14. And I saw, there it is, number 15 right here. So I'm excited to be able to, I've got through all of it. Woo! I'm so excited about myself. When I say excited, I am excited, 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 excited. All right, number 15. And these are pretty out of the box too. Cybersecurity education, which encompasses the knowledge, skills, and abilities necessary to understand and manage cybersecurity risk in an increasingly interconnected digital world. What are some of the programs? Cyber Patriot, Google Safety Center, some of the books, Cybersecurity for Beginners by Ref Weesey, and I may have not said that correct, but what is the strategies to integrate digital citizenship lessons, teach students about password security, and some of the tips include parents in cybersecurity education efforts. Number 16, parent and community engagement refers to the active participation of families and community members in the education of children. It goes beyond just attending school events. It involves a collaborative partnership between schools, families, and the broader communities to support student learning and well-being. One of the resources, I've heard this one, my grandchildren use it, Class Dojo, Remind, I used to use that one. Guides, Beyond the Bake Sale by Ann Henderson, Strategies, host regular town hall meetings, use social media for communication, tips, celebrate community contributions in schools. Number 17, coding in early grades focuses on introducing foundational computational thinking skills to young children. It's less about writing complex line of code and more about developing key concepts that underpin computer science. Resources, Scratch Junior, I used to use that one. Code.org, programs, Hour of Code, we used to use that in our school. Strategies include coding in STEM activities. Use block-based coding tools for beginners. Tips, make coding fun and collaborative. Don't make it scary, guys. Okay. Number 18, open educational resources, OER, are teaching, learning, and research materials in any format and medium that reside in the public domain or have been released under an open license that permits no cost access, use, adaptation, and redistribution by others. Platforms like OER Commons and Khan Academy, which everyone uses. Some of the guys are UNESCO's OER Toolkit. Strategies, use OER to supplement traditional textbooks. Share OER resources with colleagues. Tips, evaluate OER for quality and relevance. Number 19, mental health education for students. And I may have to cut some of the stuff, but it involves teaching children and adolescents about mental health, emotional, social well-being. Equip It aims to equip them with the knowledge, skills, and attitude they need to understand, manage, and improve their mental health. Some of the apps are Mind Yeti and Calm Classroom. Number 20, and I had to cut some of the stuff, some of the other resources, but number 20 is the rise of edu influencers, which refers to the growing prominence of individuals who use social media platforms like TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube to share educational content, inspire learners, and build community around education. I guess as a thought leader, I could be considered a edu influencer. So what are the platforms? Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and you would search hashtag edu influencer. And so that's where you're going to engage with the community through comments, through Q&A. So, oh my goodness, guys, I had some more to share. I was just having so much fun because I love information and I love being a thought leader or edu influencer that I just heard. But anyway, we have to get on. I had more to share, but I was having so much fun on my solo show. I want to say thank you for joining and continue to follow us on our journey in 2025. Stay tuned for the new time that's going to be mentioned of our new time slot. And at the top of the show, I gave you the reason for that. But as we get ready to close out today, this is Tonitia Langley. I'm your educational enthusiast, thought leader, and show host for Let's Talk K12 Education every Tuesday right here on this station. Until next time, stay well and continue to make educational equity everyone's community business. Thank you for tuning in today on Awesome Radio, WECU 107.5 FM and 1570 AM from the Let's Talk K12 Education Show. We're wishing our listening and viewing community that you step empowered, bountifully blessed into a prosperous new year. Hope to see you soon. Hey everyone, big news starting Tuesday, February 4th. Let's Talk K12 Education is moving to a new slot from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. That's right. Every week, every Tuesday from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m., we'll continue to make K12 education everyone's community business. Don't miss a beat.